Welcome back, students of Standard 10. We continue with, as this is your second semester portion, alright, that is arrays. In the last class, we had discussed about creating and printing a single dimensional array, right? We'll continue here. Today we are going to discuss about programs related to single dimensional array. And I told you that when you are creating an array, you can create while coding the program, that is assigning values within the program itself. And the second thing is, that is while executing the program or during the program runtime. And during the program runtime, there were two options. One was using the parameter and the second one was using what you call a scanner object. So let us understand the same concept. I'm going to repeat again here. Okay? And I'm going to explain you with the help of a program. Okay, but before that, let's take a look at the topics that we are going to discuss in this particular chapter. Okay, this is based on single dimension array only. So the first one is your general programs. Then we have a merging of single dimension arrays, splitting in single dimension arrays. Then we'll discuss about searching techniques. There are two searching techniques that we are going to discuss here. That is linear search technique and the binary search technique. Then we have a sorting of single dimension array. Sorting means arranging of array in ascending or descending order. So there are two sorting techniques that we are going to discuss. That is bubble sort technique and selection sort technique. And at the end, I will also write a program to explain you about an array using a function. So using a function, how you can work on the array-based program. That is towards the end of this particular topic I will be explaining you. So let's move on to the next one, that is here. Now we begin with the general programs. Okay. Now in the general programs, let's start with this fact first. That is values which are assigned to an array variable while coding the program, means while writing the program. So remember here, how would you understand that whether I'm supposed to write the program, take the values and write it in the program itself, or accept the values while executing the program. So here what happens is, if you look at this particular question, values are given in the question itself. Write a program to assign the following integers into an array called A. Check and print those integers that are prime. So our main concern is to print those which are prime. Okay, this is the one that is our concern. So the values are given in the question itself. So if ever the values are given in the question, means not as example, mind you, not as example. Okay, so the values should be given in the question, not as example. Then in such cases, we'll have to use this kind of part, that is to assign. So this is how we do it. So let's see this program here. So we have the values, class prime, public static void main, and we have int A, open close square bracket equals to within. Remember that all the elements are placed within the curly brackets. Okay, so that is 7984263. And then what happens here? Take a loop that runs from 0. Remember that it always refers to the index. So this is the start index is 0 always. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. That means on the whole we have 7 elements. So either you write over here for a time 0 I less than 7, or you can also write a dot length. Name of the array is a dot length. Here length is a statement. Please remember, length is a statement. It's a keyword that is defines the total number of elements or the dimension of an array. Right? It also indicates the size of an array. So here what happens is, the size of an array is 7, so we can either write it less than 7 or we can simply write a dot length. So it's always better that we can write over here as a dot length. Then of course int c equals to 0. Now what happens? I am checking each and every element of an array whether it is a integer is a prime number or not. So now the loop for prime number comes in. For int j equals to 1, j less than equals to ai. Ai means when I is 0, that means a0 means 7. So first you will check for 7 whether 7 is a is a prime number or not. Then I will be 1, then will be a1. A1 will go to 9. So it will check 9 whether 9 is a prime number or not. So that's why it happens here. If ai modulus j equals to 0, then c is the counter variable we have taken that counts the total number of factors. And then if c equals to 2, println AI, close I loop, close main function, and close class. So this is how what happens if we assign values in the program itself. Alright, that is while coding the program. Then we move on to the next one. Let's see the next one. The values are assigned to the variables, that is array variables, during program execution. Now in execution, as I said, there are two parts. One is that is using parameter, and the second one is using a scanner object. So here using parameter that we are doing it. So using parameter, you write a program to accept 10 integers in an array called A, check and print those integers that are prime. So here what happens, you have to accept 10 integers in an array. Now when you talk about this way, see how I have written class prime public study void main. I have written int A. What does it mean? Or how much element it can store? I have already discussed this in the last class. As I said, there's a difference over here. When we write A without anything, that means this is an infinite array. It's an infinite array. Means I have a size infinite, but I am going to store only 10 integers into that particular array. So what I am going to do, then here I am going to accept it this way. That is, I'll tell you how to accept here when you execute the program. So now what happens here, for int I equals to 0, straight away we move into the prime part. That is, for int I equals 0, I less than 10. Here we will not write a dot length. If I write over here a dot length, it will become infinite. That means your loop will run infinite number of times. So to avoid that, we have to be specific in this case. Okay, 10 integers to 10 integers, 10 right, I write up less than 10. C equals to 0, for int j equals to 1, j less than equals to ai, j plus plus. If ai modulus j equal to 0, and that's the concept of calculating or finding a prime number. So if c is equal to 2, print ai, close I loop, okay, and then close main function and close class. Now in this particular program, when you execute this particular program, what happens is you get a kind of a box. Okay, a box appears on the screen, and in that case what happens, you are asked to enter, that is, it will be int and a will be written this way, and there will be a box. So how you are going to accept the value over here, and then of course here it will be a OK and then it will be a cancel. So what you are going to do over here is you will write with this way, open curly bracket, write the number of elements that you want. Say since it is 10 over there, I'll take only 5 for example, respectively, and close it. Please remember, this is how the way that we had done in the previous one, that is the coding part. The way that we had assigned values, the same way you are going to assign, but this time it is when you are executing the program. And then what happens? You click at OK. The moment you click at OK, what happens? It calculates and it prints only those which are prime in this case. So this was the next one. That is, we move on to the third type. That is using a scanner object. Now, so values assigned during the program execution with the help of scanner object. That means the moment we talk about scanner object means you have to import the utility package, then you have to create a scanner object and then proceed further. So here the question remains the same. Write a program to accept 10 integers in an array, okay, called A, check and print those that are prime. So the same thing here. In this case, what we do is import java.util.start class prime public static void main scanner sc equals to new scanner system.in. We create an object. Now here what happens? This is a dynamic initialization. In case of dynamic initialization, what happens here is when we are using a scanner object, two things you have to do. First, create an array, that is assign the dimension of an array, the size of an array. This is what we are doing it. Declaring an array, int a equals to new int 10, and then thereafter what happens, you have to accept the values, assign values to the what you call the created array, the declared array. So here it is, for int I equals to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus. Here you can write instead of 10, you can write a dot length also. ai is equal to sc dot next int. So please remember, this is how we accept the values. Now thereafter what happens, we proceed with the prime number part. So same way that we have done, for int I equal to 0, less than a dot length I plus plus, int c equals to 0, and then for int j equals to 1, j less than equals to ai, j plus plus. If ai modulus j equals to 0, then c plus plus, close j loop, and if c is equals to 2, then print ln, that is ai, That means if it is a prime number, it is going to print. If it is not a prime number, it will go back to the next value of I, and it will extract from here. So here what happens is, in this case, the moment you write this one, the moment the compile, the control passes to this particular statement, a box is created with a number of cells. These kind of cells are created, okay, with the index number. That is, it goes on till 10, that is till 9, 0 to 9. And then what happens when you come across this one? As we enter, it goes loaded over here, 7, 8, 9, 2, 6, 5. Whatever the value that you are assigning, it will get assigned in this way till here. Okay, at this point. So then after that what happens? When you are writing over this I equal to 0, so it will take 5. You will find out whether 5 is a prime number or not. If it is so, it will print. If it is not, go back to the next value of I. I value will be 1, then it will take 7, then after that it will take 8. Likewise, it will go on and it will take 10 integers. Okay, that has been stored over there. Now we will move on to another, that is an example program, another example program. Alright, here, another example program to illustrate the method that we did. Now, this is here. Write a program to accept 20 integers in an array called A. Check and print the largest as well as the smallest integer in the array along with their positions. Okay. Assume that the array contains all different integers. Like for example, if an array contains here A is equal to 5, 9, 4, 6, 3, 2. Suppose I have just given an example, a simple example. You know the length is 6 over here, but we have to take 20. So now what happens here? The smallest integer is 2. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, smallest integer is 2 and its index is 5. But here they are asking to print the position. Remember, position means index plus 1. That means here the position will be 6. Okay, and the largest integer is 9. Here in this case, largest is 9, and its position is, that is index is 1, so index plus 1, that is 2. So its position is 2. This is what it is going to print in this particular program. So let's see the concept of this program over here. Of course, you have to import int a equals to new int 10. System will print and enter values. For int I equal to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus, ai equal to se dot next int. You have accepted. Now the major part is here, this one. We take two variables, max and min. Okay, max will store the maximum one number integer and min will store the minimum integer. And what we do exactly over here is, along with that, we take MAP and MIP. MAP means maximum position and this is the minimum position. Okay, that will be I plus 1. So here what we are doing is we are storing the first variable value, first value of the array, whatever the first value may be. It may be a negative, it may be a positive also. So the first value is storing in max as well as in min. And then of course index position is storing there. And thereafter what we do is we compare with the second integer, because first there is no need of comparing with the first one, because since we are already storing the first one. So we move on for the second, and now the second element, its index is 1. So we start the loop from 1. For int I equal to 1, I less than a dot line, I plus plus. Now if any value of array is more than max, then max will store that value and max position will store I plus 1. Anyone, okay? Similarly, if any value of array is less than min, then min will store that value and MIP, that is the min position, will be I plus 1. So this process will continue till the end of the array, and thereafter, once it is over, print maximum integer equals to, that is the max, and its position is MAP, that is maximum position. As well as system will print on a minimum integer is equals to min and its position is equals to MIP. Okay, so this is what we have an example over here. In the next class, we will begin with merging the other part that we have in the topics. Okay, so then till then, if you have any queries, any question you would like to ask, any clarification you have, do write to me. All right, and be safe, because you know that the pandemic is on and we need to be more healthy, develop your immune system, and God bless all of you. Thank you.